Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And today, Robbie's going Mad Max.
Mad Max, what's the...
Thunderdomes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not good with the whole dystopian future movies.
I really like this.
Yeah.
Silver
anyways,
edition.
We're here. The Skechers GO Run MaxRoad 5. A lot of words put together, not put together. It's classic Skechers, doesn't matter. Because you know what? This is one of my favorite shoes of 2021. It might be.
Wait a second.
It might be my most favorite.
Rewind. Rewind. Robbie, you're not gentle with Skechers in general.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of stuff harbored in my heart. Let's just say that.
Is it from the late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah, it's like that the beginning of Skechers until, well, still today. It's basically not the coolest brand. This S.
Wait, are you saying Joe Montana as a spokesperson doesn't get your blood going?
Joe Cool did get my blood going back in the day when he was slinging balls at Jerry Rice. But when he's putting his feet in Skechers, not the same kind of thing.
For a go walk.
Here's the thing though. I will bash Skechers for their looks, their mall walker type situation, whatever. But when it comes to Skechers Performance, they got some good stuff going.
They do, and I think that's the toughest thing for people is they don't always understand. There's Skechers, and they have stores, and you see the stuff, and the S looks a little different.
It was pebble stuck in here.
Nah. And then there's Skechers that is like Performance, which is a team of really good designers putting together some really great shoes for performance. I don't always, like it floats back and forth. They don't always hit a home run, but they were one of the first ones to bring in that midsole. What do you call that, Robbie?
The Hyper Burst midsole, nitrogen infused, supercritical, just good feeling midsole, long lasting.
It's a bunch of jargon, but
point being, everybody's basically moving towards that in one way or another. You've seen it in all the Puma shoes this year, Brooks Hyperion line. What else?
I mean, everybody's like got some version of it.
I don't know.
Oh, we saw the Brooks,
except for Hoka.
The BL.
Yeah, Aurora BL.
Yeah.
And all that to say, great midsole. Skechers Performance has really been churning out some stuff that we like. Skechers Razor, Razor XS. This is one of our favorite shoes of this year, as far as like a tempo shoe. It's a nice one. And now we have the Skechers MaxRoad 5. A little bit of history lesson, may I? Let's go back to this one. We'll get into the whole review.
Is it just getting chilly in here? Because I feel like I need a sweater.
Here. Let me put this on you. All right, the Skechers MaxRoad 4. I love this shoe, except we got it in like August.
We got it in the middle of summer, and it really turned me off because when we put it on, your foot sweats. And that knit upper didn't really hold me too securely over the midsole.
You didn't think so? I actually like the fit of this upper, but I will say this was the hottest upper I've ever worn in a shoe.
Not the hottest like...
Not Paris Hilton hot.
Yeah, oh, going back to Paris Hilton.
That's so hot.
Or is it hot.
That's hot.
That's hot.
Hansel's so hot.
Yeah, Hansel. It's not Hansel hot.
I really loved the way this shoe rolled. I thought the Goodyear grip on the outside was nice. It had good bounce.
Do you land on your heel when you're not in a rocker shoe? Because the whole point behind this is not to land on your heel.
I was actually just thinking that literally like 10 minutes ago.
What were you thinking?
Well,
do you land on your heel?
The whole thing with the heel, with the rocker thing, I'm like, if you land on your midfoot, does it really rocker?
That's the whole point.
It's like if a tree falls in a forest and no one's there to hear it.
I think what it does is if you are going to land on your heel, you're still landing further back. It promotes you landing a little bit closer to the middle and goes forward.
Okay.
Now, if you really are a heel striker and nobody can train it out of you, the rocker will feel really good going through your stride.
So all I have to say, let's move on real quick. Touch on this. I didn't run in the last year's version, which is like the in-between these two.
It was like, let's try a different upper.
Yeah, this is the 4 Plus. So it's like basically different upper, same outsole, and a lower cut, obviously. And then here we are.
I want to go, before you get into the upper, because that's the big change in this, but there's also something sneaky in the midsole.
There is.
But my thing is, before we get there,
okay.
Hyperburst, why is it so good? Well, it bounces. it lasts a long time. It's like really hard for you, not like that.
Did bounce.
That did not bounce, but it lasts a long time. Like you can feel the shoe does not die. The midsole doesn't die quickly. You can get a lot of miles on it.
Yeah, like one of the things that we talk about with like Hoka shoes, you get that nice bounce in the beginning, but it's an EVA midsole and it just goes down eventually. Down.
Yeah, you can crush the life out of it.
The upper on this, more breathable than both of the last two versions.
Thank God.
Yeah, so very breathable. I wore this in the humid Maryland weather, no issues. Now there's a decent amount of padding around the collar here. When it gets wet, stays wet for a little while. It's gonna happen if you want that comfort.
But comfort, right?
Exactly. Tongue, not gusset it, but didn't have a problem with it moving or anything like that. Just enough padding. Now, I will say, the upper was the one thing about the shoe that I didn't love. So the fit on it, it's pretty roomy. If you have a higher volume foot or maybe even a wider foot or want more room toe box, you're probably gonna really like this shoe. I had to lock it down like 3 times during my last long run.
That's why we thought maybe Megan would like this shoe.
Yeah.
But she didn't get it, so we don't know.
What the?
And maybe this is one we should get on Jarrett's feet as well.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad idea to try that out. So it was the only issue I had with it, really. But
did you feel like you were locking it down so much that you were getting a pucker?
yeah, for sure. And it wasn't the length. Like the length is
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect on it. So it was just the volume was just a little too much for me.
Okay.
Let's keep moving on. The midsole. Now, again, we love the hyper burst. This hyper arc geometry is what they're calling it now instead of M strike. Really just rolls you perfectly through the stride. I mean,
this is like a tailor-made foot midsole shape for you. Like this is hitting your stride perfect. I'm excited. I'm going to try this a little bit later because Robbie's been talking about it so much that it's up for contention for a high-ranking shoe in our countdown for the year. So I want to try it, but it sounds like this just nails your stride.
Yeah, it does. It's just, it rolls perfectly through. There's the right amount of bounce. It's not soft. It's not firm. It's just hits and comes right up. It feels great. And honestly, I mean, I have about 40 miles in the shoe so far. It feels the same as when I first got it. Now, the one thing that I did notice, and I didn't notice this originally, was that when I wanted to pick it up at faster paces, which by the way, works great at really any pace. I noticed a pop off the toe and I was like, oh, I don't remember that from like the last version.
Matter of fact, I felt it kind of deadened out through the stride.
Yeah, and I remembered it like rolling but not getting that pop off. And when I checked the spec sheet, I realized, oh, this has a plate in it, an H plate. So
that's basically their plate that kind of looks like
the letter H, imagine that.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Weird.
connect. So it's two different independent.
Yeah, and it's basically like right in the forefoot area. But it really does give it a nice pop.
You know what's weird? We tried the Razor with a plate, and I didn't really feel a benefit of it. Mm-hmm. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
And you're saying in this shoe, though, it comes through and you feel it.
Yeah, I definitely felt like a real nice springiness off the toe in this, like when you're trying to pick it up. And honestly, you really can run any pace with this. But yeah, all I have to say, I loved it. The outsole on this still has the Goodyear rubber. I call them Pac-Man pods because it looks like something you'd eat in Pac-Man.
That should go across the screen, Brandon.
Yeah, do that thing. What are the ghost names? Inky, Blinky?
Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Stinky?
No, it's like a weird last name. Like the
Clyde?
Clyde, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good Thomas is good at trivia, I'll give him that. Anyways.
That's me playing Pac-Man.
Dude, you know I sold my Miss Pac-Man machine to like...
So you could have children?
Well, my wife was going to kill me if I didn't get it out of the basement. But I made my gear cave.
Where the arcade was?
Well, yeah, with the money that I sold the...
That's a pretty good trade-off.
It was a hard to sell, not gonna lie. It's sitting in some rich downtown.
Yeah, but you can go to like Best Buy and buy the little Pac-Man thing, plug it into your TV. I know it's not the same as standing up to a full size.
Put the quarter in, and it just that hum of the old school screen.
I get it.
So nice.
I get it. So Robbie, you love the shoe. It's rolling through your stride. Everything feels great. It's got to be heavy. It's called the MaxRoad. It's got to have all this weight in it. How heavy is it? Okay,
you would think so. It is not heavy. In fact, it's very light. It's 7.6 ounces or 216 grams.
For what size though?
My men's 7.5.
Okay.
It's a little bit smaller, but I compared this to the Hoka Rincon last year's version.
Which was a little bit heavier than
a little
this
bit
year's.
heavier, but it was like 7.3 ounces. So
Okay.
really, for a max cushion shoe, I mean, we're talking 38 millimeter stack in the heel, 32 in the toe, 6 millimeter drop. That's a lot of stack for a pretty lightweight.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like mid 8s for a size 9.
And didn't we know of a guy that ran like that Tennessee thing
yeah.
for like 300 miles in this shoe?
Yeah, just like last week, we got a Facebook comment. There's a guy who ran the Vol State, which is the dude who does Barkley marathons. Laz, this is the last year of the race.
Laz didn't run it, but
No.
this guy ran it.
But it goes across the whole state of Tennessee. It's like 318 miles.
Which I thought Tennessee was a lot bigger than that, but go ahead.
It does seem like it would be longer, right?
Doesn't it? I mean, Maryland's got to be, what, a couple thousand? The whole United States, like 3,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he ran the whole race in this and over like the course of 5 days or something, and he said it performed amazingly. His favorite Skechers yet.
The foam above the plate bottomed out a little bit. 300. I'm
But
gonna
you're
tell
not giving that shoe any rest.
There's no shoe that's gonna feel good for 300 miles day after day after day.
Yeah, but he said it felt great. The only thing was that he could feel the plate.
He actually said it was the best Skechers he's ever run it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's a pretty good review.
Until
right
you
there.
run across Tennessee, you can't argue with that. All this package together, it's got to be a fortune. How much does this shoe cost?
So it's $135. Not too bad. I mean, it's right in the range for most daily trainers. Max cushion shoes.
Yeah, it's right. You kind of go daily trainer, max cushion, and it's like in between.
Yeah. But honestly, I feel like if someone's looking for a shoe that can literally do like everything. I mean, I think you can take this for a marathon and be like pretty happy with it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not Kipchoge.
Right. But I mean, if you're looking for a shoe that does easy days, tempo days, marathon, like this will
Your
work.
Swiss Army knife.
It really is. And I mean, I keep going back to this like for every run except when I can't pair it with what I'm wearing because it looks like a tropical.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those drinks you'd buy at like a tiki bar in Baltimore that's trying to be like a Caribbean bar.
Blue Crush.
That's
Like
really
the Blue
not-
Wave Crush.
Yeah, blue curacao. Or
Yeah,
something.
that's it. Yeah, I like it.
I just want to say this is like has to be the most surprising shoe for me of recent memory because I didn't have super high expectations for this,
Okay.
which is always nice.
All right. Now, before we go into the part where we tell you that we'd like you to subscribe and put on that bell thing so that you get all the messages when we do something.
Nobody's watching.
Check out our Instagram, check out our podcast, check out our Strava group, all the places where you can interact with us and we can interact with you and bring...
And honestly, drop a comment. Tell us what your favorite Skechers is or isn't. Or
roast.
Yeah. I mean, we get plenty of those. I don't think we need to direct people to roast us.
All right.
And if you have any questions about it, let us know. Is that good? Did it look like blue steel?
Should we do another one?
Did
Maybe-
it look like blue steel? Answer
How about
me yes or no.
Let's do it from this way, back to back.
Do you know?
Back and back and roll in. Ready?
Oh, wait.
Back to back. And then we're rolling this way.
Okay.
So ready? On 1, 2, 3. All right, that'll work. All right.